Alright, so this video I'm going to teach you how to do classes or use classes in Java. Before we do that, I'm going to teach you how to use I'm going to teach you some more stuff about functions. So last time we had a function similar to public wait, hold on, this has to be static. Public static void say hello, and this would print out hello. Then we could call hello from our main method by doing this. And once we run this, the console should say hello. So yeah, we went over that last time, and we can also pass in a string and say something. And instead of printing out hello, we would print out that string. And this would, and you would include a string right here, so it would also say hello. Yep, and now I'm going to cover this void word. So void means that it returns nothing. So a function can also be used as a value. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to use a calculator. So right here, we have a function that would add the numbers a and b, which are the parameters. So we can print a plus b, and that would add a plus b. And so now we would go into our main function, calculator 3 and 5, run it, and you would get 3 plus 5, which would be 8. But void means that it does not return anything. And by return, I mean let's just say you didn't want it to print out, but just return the value, or give me the value of a plus b. So the value of a plus b would be another integer. So instead of saying void, which returns nothing, we would write int, which would return an integer. And the way that we return something is with the return keyword. Did I spell that wrong? Yes, I did. Return. And this would return the value of a function. So in this case, return a plus b. So now, if we run this, nothing gets popped up because we're never printing anything out. But if we print out the value of calculator 3 and 5, then we would get 8. And the reason why is because we're running calculator, which returns 3 plus 5, which is 8. So the value of this would be 8, and it's printing out 8. So that's return types. This could also be a string. We could return, let's just say string age, and we could say return sentence. I don't know what I'm doing, but we could say use string concatenation. My age is age, and we could the same thing. And now my age is 5, like so. And yeah, that's basically all that I wanted to show you about function return types. So now I'm going to talk about classes. So create another class named animal, and if you don't know how to do that, you right click on source, then press new, then click Java class, and then name it animal. So we're going to do something similar to what we did in our main class, but this time we're not going to use the word static, and I'll explain later, but we're going to create public string get name, and this might return an error, or yeah, because we're not returning, because right here we told the program that we would return a string. What this would do, this is going to, I'm going to write a comment. When we run this function will return the name of the animal. So we also have get age, which is, yeah, and get favorite color. So these three things will return the respective things when called. And the way we do this is we need something to return, and we need to return their name. So back when we did public static void say hello, or yeah, we used local variables, which means that other variables that we used were inside this function, so that we we can't access like A and B right here from outside the function because they will be defined because it's only defined in this scope. But to create a global variable, we put the variable initializer outside of the function, so all three of these functions can use it. So we're going to put string name. Usually we want to give it a name like John or something, but this time we're going to leave it blank, saying that the name is null or none. The name is set to nothing. We're going to do the same thing with the age and the favorite color. So now doing when I have the get name function, we can return name. Same thing for age, return age. And same thing for favorite color. Favorite color. So now you might be like, this is kind of redundant. Why can't we just like say the name, say the age, and say the favorite color? It's because this animal class can hold many instances of other animal classes. And what I mean by that is if we want to have like a dog 1 and a dog 2, we wouldn't have to create like a dog 1 class and another dog 2 class. We can make them instances of animals. So for example, right here, string integer is a data type that holds an integer. We can create an animal called dog, which is an instance of an animal. So right here, a is an instance of an integer, and a dog is an instance of an animal. And the way we create an instance of an object that we created is by typing new and then animal, and then that. So this would run the constructor, and the constructor is a function that runs on creation of a class. And there's actually our constructor right here is automatically defaulted to empty or nothing, and so nothing will run internally when you do this, except for like creating the function, of course. So to create a constructor, we we don't include a return type. It's just public and then the name of the class, which is animal. So this will be run every time we create this animal. So to test that, we can type in system.out instance of animal created. And right here, let me replace this to public static void main args new animal. So we can say that an animal dog is an instance of a new animal. And since this line will create an animal, and on creation, it will say instance of an animal created. Now, how do we change these values? So a dog has these special attributes. So it has a name, an age, and a favorite color. And the way that we access it, we can't access name right here because there is no name. But we can, to access the dog's name, we do dog dot, and now we have all the functions related to this dog. We can get the dog's name, which is set right here. We can get the dog's age, we can get the favorite color, we can also access their variables. So we can set the name by doing dog.name is equal to Jeffrey. So now when we system.out print line the dog.getName, this function will grab this name value inside this dog instance. So this might be a lot to take in, but it would return Jeffrey. So first it would create an instance, and then Jeffrey. And it would print out the name, which we set to Jeffrey. We can also not use a function and just reference the variable itself, like so. We can also create multiple instances. So let's just say we want a dog, animal, cat, and a cat. And let's just say the dog's name is equal to Jeff, and the cat's name is equal to, I don't know, Bob. And we can system.out my two pets are, and string concatenation dog.name and cat.name. So this would return the dog's name and the cat's name, which is my two pets are Jeff and Bob. Alright, now you can pass in stuff in the constructor as well. So let's just say we want to take in a name, and so now on creation of an animal dog equals new animal, we need to give it a name now in the constructor. So let's just give it a name Jeffrey. But it doesn't really set its name to anything. So if we system.out.println dog.name, nothing gets printed because or even worse, we get an error because, or in some cases null because the value of name is still null. So on creation, we need to write a line of code that changes this name to the name that we passed in. And the way we do this is with the keyword this. So this refers to this instance of the animal. So this entire class's name, so this dot name, so it's referring to this name, is equal to name, which is referring to this name. So Jeffrey gets passed in right here, and it's setting this class's name, which is right here, to Jeffrey, which is right here. So now once we system.out.println dog.name, we also get we set its name to Jeffrey. And we can do this to we can pass in an age and do the same thing. This dot age equals age, and we can pass in a favorite color. This dot favorite color equals favorite color. And you're going to get related this has to be a string. You're going to get related problems because in our main class we forgot to include the parameters. So now we can get its name, its age, and its favorite color. So this dog's name is Jeffrey. It's 3 years old and it loves red. Instead of writing this entire code out, we can also create another function that returns a string called about me. So we're going to create a string. So we're going to return my name is get name. I am get age, years old. My favorite color is get favorite color. So this function about me would return this string value of their about me. So now instead of writing this, we can write dog.about me. Yep, my name is Jeffrey and I'm 3 years old. My favorite color is red. And I'm going to briefly talk about enumerations. So we can also create an enum or an enumeration since we don't really want to use a string for favorite color. So we can call this Enum Colors. So now we can type in different types of colors that we can use. So let's just say red, green, yellow. Let's just say all animals only love red, green, and yellow. So they can't type in like, I don't know, like computer, because computer is not a color. So it restricts them into red, green, and yellow. So they only have to use this. So instead of using the string, we're going to use colors because our colors contains these enumerations. And the same thing right here. We can colors, and right here, this won't return a string. It will return a color. Colors. My bad. Okay, so now right here, instead of typing a string, we can refer to a color. So we're going to have to make this public as well so that everything can access it. Hold on. Do we have to make this static? Yep. So now we can reference animals, which is the class, dot colors. or colors.animals.colors, and let's just say it likes red. I'll touch more on static and enumerations later, but yeah, it's just a preview. And so yeah, that's it for this video.